I got to see Eternity early. Is it any good? Let's talk about it.
Have you chosen your eternity?
Eternity is the newest film from A24 that's directed by David Frayne, and I gotta say, I was sold on seeing this movie right from the first trailer because it has such an interesting premise of people's souls being sent to the afterlife in which they have 1 week to decide who they spend an eternity with. And now after seeing this movie, I overall really enjoyed my time with it, and even though it is a little rough around the edges, I thought it was a very sweet and unoffending film. Before I get any deeper on this movie, I do want to talk about A24 because we are wrapping up this year, and A24 has released a ton of movies ranging from Bring Her Back to Warfare to Eddington, and then next month we have Marty Supreme, which I'm really excited for. And even though I didn't love all their movies this year, they all have had a pretty big impact on me. I mean, I've remembered my cinema experience, which with each and every one of them. Bring Her Back, I mean, that was a crazy experience, horrifying experience. Warfare, what a crazy fun time that was. Sorry Baby, an emotional time. Eddington, that one I'll remember for some time. I have to rewatch it. I really had a crazy time with that one. And now this one I really enjoyed too. I mean, I haven't loved them all, as I said, but they have done such a great job this year at taking some nice swings, and I have to appreciate that. Now back to Eternity. Something that I was a little taken aback by with this one was that it was way funnier than I expected it to be, because I only watched the first trailer for this one. I went in truly expecting it to be a lot sadder and emotional than it turned out to be. I wouldn't say that's a horrible thing. You might be expecting a more emotional movie like I am, but I ultimately thought most of the jokes landed really well here, but it just makes me wonder if this could have been a home run if those emotional notes were hit a little bit harder. I gotta say though, that screenplay was really great, especially when you put so much comedy and jokes into your script. You need at least 70% of them to land. And I think at least 85% of them landed for me. And you actually end up caring for each of the characters by the end of the story. And what I liked so much about the story was by the end, you didn't care who got the girl here. You just wanted them to have a happy ending and find an eternity that would make them happy with or without the girl. For the cast here, we have Elizabeth Olsen. I think she's really great here. I love her as an actress. I respect the swings that she's taking as an actress. Taking a break with Marvel, of course. She's been in some movies that I haven't really liked so far, but she always gives a pretty good performance. You know, as I said, she has a good role here, but I don't think this movie would have worked as well as it does without Miles Teller and Callum Turner, two actors that I really enjoy. Miles Teller, especially from, Whiplash, Top Gun Maverick. But I mean, Callum Turner and him do a fantastic job in this film selling this dynamic of two people going after the same girl, because one of them's the husband from long ago, the first husband, and then the second one is the second husband, so they have to fight over the girl, whoever gets to spend an eternity with them, all that. This whole movie's dynamic with these three characters would not have worked without Miles Teller and Callum Turner, and the comedy's even better with them too. I don't know how Callum Turner isn't booked and busy, because he's so good, and Miles Teller, I mean, I'll watch anything with him. I think he's just fantastic. Probably my biggest issue with this film was the pacing, and that's because I thought this movie was going to end at a certain point, and this certain point felt like a really bad cop-out ending, and then it didn't end, and then the movie went on for another 30 minutes or so, and I was like, wow, we're still going here. So I was like a little taken back there. I was like, wow, this is a really risky decision, and you'll either love it or hate it. I'm really on the middle there, because I like how they ended it by the true end of this movie. I didn't like how it was going to be a cop out for a second, so I like the true ending, but I didn't like how slow it got from that moment to the next 30 minutes to the true end, because the first hour 30, hour 20 works so well because of some of that comedy thrown in there. The pacing is really fast, and then the last 30 minutes are really slowed down, really bogged down, because they're trying to push all that emotion onto you in those last 30 minutes. I wish some of that emotion was sprinkled more into the beginning of the film, because it would have been a lot better, would have been paced a lot better. But I know some people will really love the ending, will really love the last 30 minutes, but I'm just really in the middle on it. So overall, Eternity is a very good movie, but it didn't have that wow factor to make it go from good to great. I love the stylistic approach and the story that was told, but I do wish that it focused more on emotion than comedy for most of its runtime. But either way, this was a nice and sweet time at the cinemas, and I do recommend mostly for the killer performances from Miles Teller and Callum Turner, who completely steal the show. It's another win from A24 this year. I'm going to give Eternity a strong 7.5 out of 10. If you also saw this movie, make sure to leave your own thoughts down below in the comments. I'd love to discuss it with you. And if you enjoyed my review, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.